everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. Elliot here with a brand new movie review, and this time it is for Fast and Furious presents Hobbs Shaw, directed by David Leitch. It stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jason Statham, and Vanessa Kirby. I'm here to give you guys my positives, my negatives, let you know if I think it's a spinoff worthwhile, and also to give you my score at the end of this review. But before I do that, I want to welcome all those that are new to Movie Files. If you haven't already, if you're not too familiar with our channel here, we're all about movie reviews, TV reviews, trailer reactions, unboxing videos, and we do giveaways to show our appreciation to you all. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, definitely hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date with those videos. So with that beyond the way, I am here to share my non-spoiler thoughts with you for Hobbs Shaw. Kicking off with the positives, I got to talk about the leads of this film. Again, Dwayne Johnson, you have Jason Statham, and Vanessa Kirby. They all had great chemistry. I'm going to start one by one. The Rock, if you guys have seen a lot of my reviews from films I've done with The Rock, he's one of my favorite entertainers in the space. I've been watching The Rock since I was a kid in wrestling, and then seeing his transition into the entertainment business. And I think he's done some smart roles, not some smart roles, but he's come into his own as a really, in my eyes, one of the only movie stars that brings people into the seats, including myself. I was very excited for this film. You can see my trailer reactions to it. I knew what I was getting into going into this movie. I'm not the world's biggest Fast and the Furious fan, but I like the ones in the middle. I think those films are very entertaining and fun. From 5, 6, and 7, and 8 was okay, but I'm very excited to see them kind of spin off the universe and create these new pockets. And I'm glad that they brought The Rock into this leading role. And I really enjoy Luke Hobbs. I think he's a very fun character, very 80s throwback 90s character. He's just, he's indestructible. He has the charisma, he has the charm. I think The Rock plays it off beautifully in this film, playing the opposite of Jason Statham, who we've seen him in these roles. He normally does a great job in action, but what I love about this movie in particularly, and his kind of back and forth banter that we get, kind of reminds me of the old school Lethal Weapon type of vibes. But I love Jason Statham in comedy per se. Again, this is an action film. Don't get the twist at all, but I love seeing Jason Statham kind of having fun with characters. This movie kind of reminds me of when he had the opportunity to kind of show his comedic chops in The Spy, or The Spy with Melissa McCarthy, which I really enjoyed. But I love their banter, their back and forth is authentic throughout the entire film. These people, these two characters, these two egoistic type of characters, these very macho man characters, do not like each other. It is pretty consistent throughout the film. And also in previous films where I really enjoy their back and forth. But also Vanessa Kirby, give me her as Catwoman, as has been rumored for the last couple of months. She is so great. We see her in Mission Impossible Fallout, which that was the first time I was exposed to her. And she didn't really have a lot to do in that film, but she left a very good impression on me. And she kicks ass in this movie. I really enjoyed her character. I think they allude to who she is in the trailers, but I won't get into that relationship and her dynamic. But I thought she was such a great equalizer to the dynamic that we get with Jason and The Rock, and her being in the middle. I thought it was just really well played. Her banter with the two leads and her action sequences were really well done, and I really thought those leads really brought the life and the fun to the party in this movie. Jumping onto some of the actual action aspects, it's a David Leitch film. If you guys haven't seen his films, from Atomic Blonde to Deadpool 2, he's a second director. He's in regards to second team shooting action from like Civil War, Captain America. He's a stunt guy, he's an action guy, and he always knows how to handle action. The action in this movie is at its finest. It's big, it's loud, it's bombastic, it's fun, it's entertaining. This is a popcorn movie theater experience. This is an end of the summer type of blockbuster, and I thought David Lynch delivered that. Again, you can see my trailer reaction when I saw it. My jaw was on the ground. It's like, this action is over the top, but this is what I wanted, and I think David handles action very beautifully, and this is nothing short of one of his better action films. Again, he handles it well. He's a stunt guy himself, so he knows how to shoot action, and he does a really good job. In this film, again, if you're a Fast and Furious fan, especially from 6, 7, and 8, where it gets really crazy, this film has that, but I think it adds its own flavor with David Lynch. Again, he's a professional when it comes to shooting action, and you have two really big action superstars, including Vanessa Kirby. Again, when I see her in action now, I'm so excited because she just has the body language, she has the charisma on screen, and the action is definitely top notch for me. The film does definitely keep, again, not being the huge Fast and Furious fan, I like that the film does have some through line through the franchise, which is family. Family is very important to Dom and everyone involved. And this film definitely kind of takes those vibes and injects it in there, where we get some family background, family history with the Rock's character, Luke Hobbs, and we get some of Jason Statham's character. So I like that they kept that vibe there. There's some, and I won't give away any spoilers again, but there's some great cameos. One in particular that stole every scene that they were in. I was so excited to see them in this film. Did not know they were in the film. I'll just leave it at that. Again, this film definitely reminds me of an 80s, of a 90s vibe, of a Lethal Weapon vibe, kind of some Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone type of movies. Not saying they're on that level, but just reminded me of those films. You can just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the outrageous, ridiculous action on the screen. I really appreciate that. And the film does a really good job of doing its own world building. Again, this is a spin-off of the Fast and Furious film, but I believe this film did a good job, in my opinion, of kind of building this world with these two characters from this big franchise and establishing their own world and establishing newer characters and bringing us some new life to this franchise of Fast and Furious, which we're going to get a 9th one and potentially 10th one. But the franchise is kind of, the numbers don't show fatigue, but I think that it's a time for this franchise to go in a new direction with the Hobbs and Shaw, with the female-led fast film. So I think this movie does a good job of kind of building its own universe. And I can't finish out the pros without one of my favorite actors in Hollywood, that's Idris Elba as the Black Superman. He lives up to the hype in the film that we see in the trailer. I really enjoyed his character. He doesn't have a ton in the story as far as the backstory, but he's a fun, again, going back to an 80s, 90s throwback type of character where they're just badass, just to be badass. Again, the trailer alludes to he's kind of like a super soldier, kind of meets Universal Soldier, meets the Terminator, meets the Black Superman, and he lives up to that hype, and I really enjoy Idris Elba. He's having, just like Jason Statham, again, you see them playing these types of roles where they really don't get to have fun per se. They're very serious or they're very dramatic, but it was fun to see Idris Elba in this light, just having a good time as this badass character in this film. So jumping on to the negatives. This has nothing to do with this movie, but there was someone in the theater that was just farting up a storm, and it was just so distracting. But that's just a side note. But anyway, on to the actual film. There was some comedy that didn't land completely, but that's just a little minor thing. I will say just, I've seen most of David Leitch's films, and there's something about the way he shoots emotional scenes that just doesn't land with me. I think of Deadpool 2. I think of other films where it's just like he knows how to shoot the action, he knows how to shoot the fun, entertaining scenes, but when it comes to emotional scenes, it's not the actors, it's not the dialogue, but the way he shoots it just feels so kind of, it's just missing something. I can't put my finger exactly on it, but it was moments in the film where they tried to get emotional or have that connection or beat to make you care about the characters. And again, the actors and the lines were fine, but it's just the way it was shot just didn't land for me personally. The final act is a little bit underwhelming, and particularly it goes back to Idris Elba being this Black Superman indestructible character, where his power skill level kind of was like all over the place toward the third act, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. But the third act was a little bit underwhelming compared to the first and second. I'm not the world's biggest score and soundtrack guy, but when I can hear a good score, especially a soundtrack, I find that to be like a character within the movie. In this film, the soundtrack was just very like, again, this is a 90s type of throwback where the soundtrack was a character of its own, but it was just kind of like almost misplaced in some scenes. It was kind of distracting. And I will say, for those that haven't seen the trailer, that might be a good thing. If you're already sold on The Rock, Jason Statham, David Leitch, Idris Elba, Vanessa Kirby, definitely just go in and enjoy it. But if you've seen the trailers like me, I'll just leave it at this. They show a lot in the trailers. Again, within those big sequences that we see in the trailer, there's more to those scenes, but I'll say there's a higher percentage of what you saw in the trailer. They showed it, they showed a lot from the movie. I'll just kind of leave it at that, which is a little bit disappointing because it already sold me, but I wish they kind of held some things back before I saw it. But finishing up this review, is as advertised, it's loud, it's outrageous, it's totally ridiculous, but this is what I wanted. This is the end of the summer type of film, blockbuster. This is a Fast and Furious franchise where we knew we were going to get a spinoff. The Rock never fails when it comes to action for me. His charisma, his charm, his energy, his comedic beats are definitely in this film. Jason Statham's having a good time. Idris Elba's having the best time in this kind of bad guy villain role. Again, I am so excited to see more of Vanessa Kirby, and I think that everyone on this film just had a good time, and I'm excited to see more from this franchise and see where they go and see who they add to this franchise. Rumor has it who's the next villain going to be, and I hope that that cameo that I mentioned earlier, I hope that that person makes more appearances in this franchise. It's a really good film in regards to just, again, putting popcorn in your mouth, sitting back, relaxing, enjoying the fun on the screen. I'm giving this film a 4 out of 5. Again, I'm not giving it a perfect film. It's not going to make my top 10 movies of 2019, but it's a fun film. If you're a fan of the franchise as far as Fast and Furious, I think you're going to enjoy this. And if you haven't seen a Fast and Furious film, this is still a good film within itself. A good, fun action film. 4 out of 5. Check it out. And when you do, drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this film. Like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. Follow us on all of our social media accounts. I'll leave that in the description below. And again, I appreciate you guys watching this review. We got more stuff coming for you, more reviews, more TV reviews coming pretty soon. We got some more trailer reactions definitely away right around the corner. Some more giveaways coming soon. So definitely keep an eye out for those videos. Thank you for watching this review, and we'll see you on the next one.